This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World, the Off-Grid Project. Look at that. Now this is pitch black out in the night. This is now my new favorite lamp. Let's look deep into the forest over here. And let's zoom. Look at that. See the camper? The workshop camper back there? See the detail? This is my new favorite headlamp. Look at that. This is incredible. I don't know how well it shows on camera, but if it looks anything like it does on the display, then you'll understand why I am so absolutely excited about this, my new favorite headlamp of all time. This is the one I just received recently in the mail. This is incredible. Look at that. This is just awesome. I can see the trees back there. I can see every detail. This is the most incredible light. I'm going over to shut off the generator. Look at that. You can see deep into the woods. Incredible. Look at that. You can see the trees at the back of the meadow. How awesome. This is incredible. A nice square bright light. I gotta shut off the generator. The generator runs well now. Well, my new favorite headlamp. Just incredible. Well, you guys know how, you see that right there, there's my canopy, my carport. Now look, let me zoom in on the trees behind it. It's just really amazing. You can see trees. Let me zoom on the light. Look at that. You can really see. Quite impressive. Really amazing. This is better than many flashlights I've seen. Look at the quality of that. You can see color. Good afternoon. This is Troy from the sunny Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Well, partly sunny. Just as I say it, the first cloud I've seen today is passing over. Dark one. It's been pretty good out, pretty sunny. Let me run over real quick before the cloud comes. And we've got a green light. And we've got 13.6 volts at 181 watts. Fluctuating. But it's looking good. Power's looking good today. So I just got in. I have been out on the road all day, and it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I just now got in. It is 41, 42 degrees out, only 68 in, but that's fine, at 1:30 in the afternoon. Right now we've got 12-mile-an-hour winds, so I need to get that wind turbine going. That is urgent. So I've got to go in and get some nuts and bolts and start putting up that tower maybe I'll probably go into town tonight after it gets dark and start working on that tomorrow. Now let me show you, I've got some good news. Why I sound so excited and happy. Let me take you outside here. Wait, I'm going to pause the camera because I got to get my jacket. I was on the road all day today, and I've got a major Craigslist haul for the off-grid project and the tiny house on wheels. This is a truckload of water tanks. These are pressurized household water tanks, and I've got 6 large ones. I don't know their capacity, if they're 50 gallons maybe. And I've got 10 smaller ones. I don't know their capacity, but these are ProSource composite pressurized water tanks. All the same brand, all the same thing. They are fiberglass covered pressurized water tanks, and these are going to be rainwater collection system for the tiny house on wheels. This is a super amazing find, and what's exciting is anybody else who would ever like to go off the grid and do such a thing as this can also go to any plumbing place and get these free pressurized water tanks themselves. These were free, and they were on Craigslist, and I went and got the whole load of them because I will use probably 2 of the small ones upstairs inside the tiny house loft and have a gravity fed water pressure system just from these. That is so awesome. This means running water in the tiny house on wheels. Now only one of these is dirty. That one has had probably a blowout in the pressure system and rusty lines. Looks like it had been leaking, but that doesn't matter because the pressurized part, they actually disabled them, and there's a bladder inside I can remove, and then I've got a perfect access. I'll show you these later when I get them off the truck. And I've got a perfect access to the water for a filler nozzle on top. Perfect. So I take off the cap, it slips right off. Actually, I'll go up there in a minute. And then I've got a water nozzle on the bottom, big fitting. So I'll have to take this into the hardware store, one of these, and what I'll do is match this up with the fittings that'll come down. 2 tanks I'll combine in a Y, and I'll have a valve in case I want to switch one on or off or both. And then that'll go down and into the kitchen and bathroom for water. I'll have water in the tiny house. So my next paycheck, when I can get the fittings, I will have running water in the tiny house. This is very exciting. So I'm going to take the 2 best of these and take them in. Let me pause. I didn't zip up my camera. I'll take you up on the truck. I think I said I didn't zip up my camera. I didn't zip up my jacket. Anyway, so let's see if I can do this single-handed here. They have disabled the air pressure nozzles so that you cannot reuse them. They've demolished them for safety reasons so that you cannot reuse them, which I don't care, because what I've got here is let me see if I get one that comes off loosely let me pause the camera. I got to take off this lid. Now, this lid just slips off and there's a gasket there, and then inside is an air bladder. That's just simply an air bladder, which I'm sure I can find uses for that later on anyway in itself. Only the top of the threads is damaged, so I can cut it off and still use it for something. So there's this massive air bladder, and this entire thing comes out, and then I've got a big water tank. This is actually probably, I'm gonna say 30 gallons, I'm gonna guess. I'll have to look these up actually. So I don't know what this is saying, 40 to 60, 38 psi. I don't know. There's no specs on these and no dimensions, so I'll look them up online. But either way, this is a nice sized tank, and 2 of these would provide a nice amount of water inside for me in the tiny house, and they're the right height they can go on the low wall. I'm going to measure this height, but I think they'll go upstairs on the lower wall up behind my bed. And this is pretty exciting. I'll fill them with a water pump from outdoors from the main rainwater collection tank, or tanks, these big boys, and then just have a visual on how much water is in them. But this is really exciting. This is a major find. So now I'm obviously going to have to figure a way to keep these from freezing, the ones that will be outside, but I could even do that in the spring. For now at least, I can always run down with the truck and fill up 1 or 2 of these at the creek, and then bring them up and then fill the one in the house and then have pressurized water. So either way, this is exciting. This is really good haul for the off-grid project and the tiny house on wheels. Well, just to let you know what's up, I've been out sorting the barnwood off in the forest all afternoon, so nothing exciting to report, nothing really going on. But I've got to sort through all those truckloads of barnwood before it starts to rot. So I'm laying down pallets and I'm sorting through the different types of wood. There's barn siding, there's structural beams, there are wooden planks, there's 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s, 2x12s, there's everything out there. And I've been sorting that all out. It's going to take a long time, but I got a good start at it today, and I'm going to just keep on picking at that throughout the winter, sorting out, putting on pallets, laying them up like they do at the lumber yards with spacing in between the boards to allow them to air out and not rot throughout the winter months. So I've been studying online how people at the lumber yards do store their wood outside, and that way I'll have a good chance at keeping some of this wood for summer. I brought a piece of siding up here. I'm experimenting with my entryway coat rack. I'm not sure which side I would want to have out, if I even like it at all. But I'm going to experimentally hold this up there and trace the outline of the shelf, and then cut it to fit and put it on one side and see how I like it. And if I like it with the keeping this side, this edge facing into the room, if I like it, then I'll do a second one out of this piece, and then I'll have that shelf in the entryway done, and hopefully it'll look good. We'll see. Now, I'm not an expert at rustic shelf making, but I'm experimenting and learning, and I have plenty of wood. If I mess up, I can always redo it. Forgive me for not recording, but forgive me for not having light. Let me turn on my headlamp. Alright, this is the light of my new super high intensity, high speed headlamp. We call it high speed in the military. Okay, there, let me see if I can get that looking right. There is a piece of barnwood I've cut for this. It will be darker when I oil it, and I think it fits. The only uncut or the only fresh cut side is this edge right here, which I can stain with tea or coffee, and this bottom edge. I had to cut some edge, but I kept this edge raw, and that fits that shelf. Tell me what you think. I'm going to put it on there, and if I don't like it or you guys don't like it, I can always change it. But I think that's going to close it off and look good and offer some support as well. I think it just I think it looks alright. I've got 2 pieces, one for each side, and I did cut them in reverse. So I'm going to close them off and finish that. There you can see the wood grain that I loved in that so much. Now you can see it in this light. This is an amazing headlamp. So yeah, there you see it. Now this won't have a lot of stress or weight on it anyway. It's just going to have hats and gloves and coats hanging on it. So I'm going to put that on there and see how I like it. Well, I'm going to try putting this on there. One thing I need to do is get some more light going in this place, because it's a little bit dark in here right now. I'm trying to decide if I want to pre-drill. 1, 2, 3. Thinking I might want to pre-drill. Yeah, I'm gonna pause the camera and pre-drill the holes into this so I don't split it. I already put one screw in, and I forgot I have a camera. I always forget that I have a camera. It's getting dark. I gotta put more lights in here urgently. Now I decided to use screws instead of nails. I have more control with screws, and they've got more holding power in case this warps. And there's no real torque on this, or no real shear pressure on this. Yeah, I need more light. Now somebody asked me, why am I putting in shelves and decorative things when I've got other more pressing, demanding things that need to be done? Well, the shelving, the big one anyway, is going to hide my light switches and outlets and power plugs and everything else. It's going to be built into the shelving unit. So that's why that is higher up on the priority list, because I need light. So I will show you what this looks like in better daylight, better light. But I think it's going to look very nice. And it's just my opinion. But I guess all that matters is if I like it, right? And I have to live with it. So I'll finish that up, the other side, and then I'll come back with a camera and let you see. I decided to turn on the camera. I haven't done much video at all today. I was on the road all day. Hope I can get those screws in that angle. I'm going to need an extension on the screwdriver for that, because the trim there is in the way. Make sure I can reach. I think it'll be alright. So I don't think I need that extension. We'll see how it feels here. It's just awkward. Okay. I think I like it. I don't know. See what you guys think here in a few minutes. Oil that up, darken the wood, and it's going to look good, and it'll match the other. Okay, let's get a close-up. I'll pause the camera, get my headlight, and let you see what you think. Yeah, take this off the tripod here. Well, what do you think? Once I left the painted spot side out. I wanted that visible just to see what it would look like. But I think it makes it look more finished. Now when I get the pigs in there, it's going to look like a shelf with pigs. I think some people thought that I was leaving it like it was, and no. I had a couple different ideas and variations of how I wanted to do it. One of which requires me to get my bandsaw fired up, which means getting a generator out by the workshop on wheels, and I'm not ready for that at this time. But I'm thinking about doing some decorative bandsaw work and cutting some curly designs on the outside edges of these. But for now, I think I like that. Now on the other shelf on the long wall here, the long shelf on this wall over here, I might do something different. We'll see. But I like that. I think it turned out very well. I really like the looks of it, and I'm going to oil it, and I'm probably going to like it a lot more. But tell me what you think. Again, I guess it only matters that I like it or I'm happy with it, but I do like to know your opinion, because this tiny house has been built a lot on opinion and advice and suggestions from people. Oiling it right up right away. Now I have to blot this because this is really rough grain. I can't really roll it or rub it smoothly. It's very, very rough. But the oil's getting in there, that's all that matters. Darkening up the wood and moistening it. Also, if I rub, I'll rub some of that old paint off, and I don't want to do that. It's part of the look I was going for, is to have that paint show through. Getting into the corners isn't easy. I get it. So, yeah. Getting my rustic house, rustic tiny house, rustic barnwood. Look at that, it darkens right up very nicely. Nice. Alright, well, I'm going to do the inside and out of that. I don't want to block my camera. The inside is easier. Really smooth wood on the inside. Getting in the corner isn't easy. So, that's thirsty. Been sitting for years. Alright, well, let's have a look. Tell me what you think. Now there's darkened up to match the rest of the wood. It's got the barn paint on it still. And, see, it's darkened up, matches it. Now it matches very well. I'm going to use tea on the edge, like I said, tea or coffee, and I'll darken up that cut end right here. I like it. I'm going to do the other side next, but I won't bore you with that. I like it. Tell me what you think. Tiny house on wheels is coming along, using some reclaimed barnwood. I like it. Box came in the mail today from Walmart. I have no idea where this is from. It says a gift for you, ordered from Walmart. I have no idea. Oh, there's baby cat. Why is it you love boxes so much, huh? If there's ever a day that baby doesn't come running when there's a box, I'm going to take her to the doctor. Let's see what we have here. Just a minute. Can I open it? Here's paper. You're going to love paper, huh? Just a minute. That's a lot of paper. You don't make this very easy, you know. Oh, there she goes. Get it, Shelly. She's in there somewhere. And the baby cat got her paper. Well, that'll keep her busy for hours. So there's a paper here. Let me see what tells me who this is from. I don't see a YouTube name, so I don't want to share anything that might be personal or private. Let's see, there's a card. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yeah, I don't want to share a personal name, so I won't mention it out loud here. We've got Dinty Moore beef stew. Another beef stew. I used to eat these all the time. Dinty Moore beef stew. No preservative. Surprise. Wow. Interesting. Well, some hearty meals. Well, I see your name on there, but I don't know your new YouTube name. So if you want me to share that, go ahead and say so in the comments. And then Baby says thank you for the box and the fun paper packing. There you go, baby. You can have the box. Happiness. Happiness is a new box. Well, thank you.